So why is it important to notify your research assistant or development officer before reaching out to a foundation? Well, it's important to advise a representative of the university and or development officer for the foundation because, as we said earlier, there is a chance there may already be conversations or proposals with this foundation and other colleges or schools at Arizona State. Interfering with these conversations might make the foundation look as if they don't know what the right shoe is doing with the left shoe. At worst, it could jeopardize any future conversations the university might have going forward with this funder. Lastly, I would argue it's actually more beneficial for you, and you'll benefit from advising one of these professionals that you've identified this funder, because there may be information or that you may not know that will actually assist you with your chances of success with this particular foundation. And development officers will know what those are. Not since grade school have you perhaps heard this next slide. Do your homework. By that I mean know your funder, understand all the requirements that are contingent on this, and again, communicate with your team. Please know that your funder will research alignment, relationships, past awards, etc. Go beyond the website to find out this information. Understand all the requirements and the timeline. Review formatting requirements, collection, documentation, early documents that you may need to provide. In most cases, the ASU Foundation will have all these documents, such as our nonprofit status letter, budgets, bios, annual reports, for instance. Lastly, it's important to continue to communicate. Assignments for budget proposal development, project description, goals, and objectives ought to be thought of firstly who you can go to help you with this particular part. Here's some don'ts. Don't reach out without researching a foundation. Now is not the time for you to break rules, i.e. notifying or asking the foundation. Don't break the rules. Don't wait until the last minute to collect information a day before the deadline. Don't assume an application will be the same as previous year's applications. Oftentimes, funders change routinely their guidelines and applications. The last don't is particularly important. Every year, as I said, applications change because of a change in leadership of the board or changes with staffing, etc. A terrific example was this past year and the pivot that many foundations had to make for their funding as a result of the pandemic. If you were using a application from 2 years ago, you probably would not receive too many affirmative answers from this funder since they were emergency funding their priorities.